hopefully in past all of you sitting on the side of the harbour here now into this part of the outer harbour, and hopefully once she's in here we can give her a really big welcome, and also the volunteers who are on board. So we've gone from the very small inshore rescue boat that you've seen the lifeguards in, looking after all the people who've been jumping in and out of the water. Now you're seeing the other end of our fleet. They're sounding their sirens now, so you're truly aware that they're here. Give them a big wave. They're starting to wave at us. Ladies and gentlemen, here she is, the Penley 7th class all-weather lifeboat Ivan Ellen, just coming into the harbour now. A big cheer, make them feel very welcome. Hello! And on board, the volunteer crew and the coxswain today up on the flying bridge, that's the highest bit of the lifeboat, is Patch Harvey. He's the full-time coxswain at Penley, and some of the people you see on board today were with us on Friday when we announced that we're going to be the chosen charity of the Cornish Pirates rugby team for this season, which is fantastic news. And amongst those people on board are former players of the Cornish Pirates. Patch is a former player. I think I spied Adrian Bick there. Various players on board, and that's going to be a really, really special tie-up for us. But this is the other side of lifeboating. This is millions of pounds worth of lifeboat and kit, and it is paid for by events like this. So for every pound you've put in a collecting bucket today, we've invested it in producing lifeboats and kit like this that you're seeing here. But let's not ignore the other lifeboat that's arrived with Ivan Ellen. The Paul Alexander is the inshore lifeboat you see here. It's an Atlantic inshore lifeboat. The big brother, if you like, or big sister, all boats are feminine, so wonderful and well behaved. Big sister of the Atlantic inshore lifeboat. So the Atlantic is very much used for inshore work, for getting in when people are cut off by the tide, for looking after canoeists, kayakers, extreme sporters and the like. And this is the Atlantic 75. We've got an Atlantic 85 is the bigger of the version, and then we've got some of them around the coast as well. But together, a really good combination of lifeboats looking after the coastline down towards West Cornwall, and both these vessels based in Newlyn. Lifeboats that we have in our fleet, you can start to see how wide a job we can do. Because we can start with the little Arancia, the inshore rescue boat that the lifeguards can use as a surf line. They can be backed up by the Atlantic, see how manoeuvrable it is, how useful it is around the Cornish coast. And then of course, you've got the bigger lifeboats that are backing these inshore lifeboats up as well. And these lifeboats have a real turn of speed. So our big all-weather lifeboat fleet would be at speed when they're on a shout, going to an emergency, 25 knots. We get 35 knots speed out of the bigger inshore lifeboats. And then also on board the all-weather lifeboat there is a small wide boat. It's like a tiny, even smaller than the lifeguard inshore lifeboat, which can be used in conjunction with all these lifeboats too. before they do the big display. So if you're sitting there now and you've got about £135,000 in your pocket, or sitting in your bank account and you're wondering what to do with it, you could pay for one of these lifeboats. We know that most of you haven't, so don't worry. 6 out of every 10 launches that the lifeboat like this one does are paid for by legacies. People dying and leaving money to the RMLI, which we can then use to produce lifeboats like this. But your money could help buy something on the lifeboat. So for instance, to train one of those crew volunteers for 1 year would cost around about £1,200. So if we raise £10,000 today, give or take, we could train 10 lifeboat crew volunteers. Their kit, if you wanted to buy one of these lifeboat crew volunteers a life jacket, like the life jackets you see them wearing today, yes, big round of applause, well done. We would need £350 to buy them a life jacket, like the life jackets they're wearing today. To kit them out completely, about £900 for their dry suit, for their helmets, for their life jackets, gloves when it's cold. And what does a lifeboat crew member wear underneath their dry suit? At this time of year, probably not very much, because they get very hot. In the winter, they wear a fleece-lined, woolly bear suit, we call it. It's an all-in-one suit, made of a fleecy material that keeps them very warm underneath the dry suit. Lifeboats in our lifeboat fleet have the ability to right themselves. Now the big all-weather lifeboat you saw is self-righting, so God forbid if it should capsize, it will right itself in so many seconds. If you're my age, and remember, Blue Peter once went on board a lifeboat. If you just in the harbour here, looking down now on Paul Alexander, you can see now on the gantry where the blue light is, just look below it, that's the airbag packed away, so that if the lifeboat did capsize, it would fire on top of that gantry and then it would bring the lifeboat back up the other way. We're very lucky in the RMLI. One of the things we've done with the money you've given us is we've had a purpose-built training college put up at our HQ in Poole in Dorset. And in it there is a huge swimming pool, if you like. It's very, very deep to come back in. But also the little daughter boat that belongs on that boat is going to come into the little Y boat. So you can see all these different assets that we can use if the situation in an emergency calls for it. Now, this is the little Y boat. This lives on the all-weather lifeboat. 2 of the crew volunteers are on board now, and they can take it off of the big boat, put it in the water and use it to perhaps get close to the rocks, perhaps to get closer to a casualty in the water so they can get them out. And it means we've got a whole mix of lifeboats at hand, depending on the situation and why we need a lifeboat or a rescue boat at any given moment. So you see a wide range of assets now. You've seen the Y boat, the lifeguards inshore rescue boat, the Atlantic, And of course the big 7-class all-weather lifeboat, that's the full fleet. The really important thing for you all to remember is that you have paid for all these bits of kit. So make them feel welcome, big wave, big cheer as they come back in again now. You have the pride of the Oran Life fleet in front of you now, every different part of it. So for those of you like me who find parking a bit of a challenge sometimes, think on about the training that's involved in making sure that they can manoeuvre a lifeboat of this size. Sometimes in very close quarters like you're seeing today inside Porthleven Harbour, of course also manoeuvring them sometimes in atrocious weather. Big seas, strong winds, breaking tops to the sea, surf, and yet actually crew will take this big all-weather lifeboat into those conditions so that they can help rescue people. So it's not a case of just a bit like driving. You can't just get in the car and be a driver. You can't just get in a lifeboat and be a lifeboat crew volunteer. There's a lot of background training goes into it, a lot of preparation, so that you can eventually aspire to be the coxswain and to be able to handle these lifeboats in all conditions and to help people in all sorts of strife. People often ask, and I always dread this question, and I hope I'm going to get this right, what are the numbers on the bow of the lifeboat? The lifeboats signify the numbers. First of all, 17. I've got this right. 17 metres is the length of the lifeboat. So we know it's a 7-class lifeboat because she is 17 metres long. And the 36 means that she was the 36th lifeboat of that class to commit. So that's what the numbers mean. Then of course she carries which station she is on her stern, so she is the Penley lifeboat. And then she has a name, she's the Ivan Ellen. Quite often the name is associated with the main donor of money towards that lifeboat. And that's the case with Ivan Ellen. So a lot of our lifeboats have very personal names that attach them to the people who help fund them.
Oh right, okay.
And though Ivan is a male name, all lifeboats, as I've said before, are all boats, in fact, are feminine.
Oh right, well we're backwards. We're on the yeah, we're further back. Can't even see you. No, we're opposite the salt cellar. Yeah, you just walk past the salt cellar, but the water at night, and then you've got Porthleven cycle hire, and then the salt cellar. So we're down there.
you would be to see this lifeboat. Maybe not the faces on board, but certainly the lifeboat. If they were in trouble, to see this coming to your aid, if you were in a real pickle on a horrible night, you'd be really grateful. They stand out, their lovely colour. Same with the crew, they stand out. All green. No, not. Hello. All right. Are you wearing your Cornish pirate shirt? Excellent. Look at this. This is Patch, our coxswain at Penlee, and he's wearing his Cornish pirate shirt. I keep mentioning this because we're really, really chuffed with the tie-up. Oh, someone's very pleased you're doing that. Cap on, pirate, over there. It's grand that we've got this tie-up with the pirates this season. And we're really chuffed because some of the crew, as I said before, who are on the Penlee lifeboat, were also or have been players of Cornish pirates, and so we're rather chuffed that we've got the tie-up. Here comes the little Y-boat, in there, the Atlantic behind. By lifeboats. It's 3 o'clock. I need to worry about the working boats, don't I? Here at Porthleven we have what we call a parade of working boats. This is fishing boats local to the harbour who parade at speed to see who can parade home quickly enough. I hope you're getting the drift of this. It's always a bit of a water fight and very exciting, and one or two of them remember to put flags up for the occasion. But you should start to see some of the workboats coming out from the inner harbour in just a moment. And they usually go out round a course and then they come back again, and all that will happen before we get to the lifeboat demonstration with the helicopter at 4 o'clock. Especially if it's an incident on the cliffs, but they may choose to send RNLI lifeboats, RNLI lifeguards, or of course the helicopter you're going to see a bit later from RNES Drones. So we always say, remember, if you think you see someone in trouble, dial 999 and ask for the Coast Guard. Don't ever worry if perhaps what you see isn't what you think it's for. We'd much rather be told and then find everybody's okay than have them. So here come our workboats now for their parade, which takes them out of Porthleven and back again. This is a fantastic one, all dressed overall with a kit. And looking good. So here's one of our entries for the work parade. This is the famous Elvin. They always take part in the Elvin, so they're just having a chat here with the Master of Ceremonies. Coming out here now with another set of flags. It's Katie, another of the local workboats, going to take part in this parade. They're all soaking wet already. And there we go. Water fight. Oh, now, here comes another one now with a shark on the bow. The third of our working boats, they've been turned out brilliantly. Lots of flags. And that's Dander, another of the local boats that always takes part in this parade. And I think the lifeguards might be taking part as well. They look wet enough anyway. There's no escape. Because we're seeing all this and they are giving the workboats a good dancing with their fire hose. Probably putting enough water in that they'll have to rescue them and pop them out in a minute. But seriously, the other side of it is that this is all good practice for when they might need to use the fire hose, sandwich one and everything else on board the lifeboat for real. So you are now seeing some of the things that we keep on board the lifeboat which we would have to use in an emergency, either in pumping a boat out if it was sinking, initially fighting a fire on another boat if we got there and there was a fire on the vessel, perhaps in the engine room or whatever. And also some of the equipment you see on board we use for getting people out of water, for rescuing someone who perhaps is in the water and can't help themselves. All this kit is on board. It's amazing how much kit there is on all these lifeboats for so many different circumstances they might have to deal with. Before they come close to you in the crowd. They're a nice bunch, but if you offend them, you're going to get very wet. Workboats are now lining up, ready to go off on their parade. Well, I'm suggesting that, because otherwise everything is going to happen at once and I shall get confused. So with any luck, any minute now, we might have You're not allowed. Right, I think the wellboats are about to go. Press the button. It's awful curry last night. So the wellboats have gone off on their parade. Still fighting each other for the honour of being first in the parade. All taking part of being a Cornish community. Fantastic. Off they go into the sunshine. And we're left with the lifeboats here that you can still enjoy looking at. These are the craft that you're supporting today at our Porthleven Lifeboat Day, and who a bit later on will be operating. And they've been looked at while they've looked after while they've been out there by the big lifeboat from Penlee, just coming back into the harbour now. And don't forget, just in a few minutes' time in the inner harbour, it's the water polo match, if that's what you're interested in. And of course, Little Dash is still launching down the slipway too. Peace and quiet on the Penlee crew now, because they'll need to capacities. They have very kind employers who accept that sometimes when their pages go off, they're just going to jump into their cars and drive away or run to the lifeboat station. And they too are happy to let their staff go so they can come and carry out rescues at sea.
going anyway now, come back up. Come back up, jump on. Come on. Just up here, okay?